Hey, what's up guys, it's Xantho here, and I haven't made a video in a while, but a new one here. This is going to be a budget League starter character, so Slayer. It is a Volcanic Fissure character using Frost Breath and Replica Bitter Dream. Really, you can just use Bitter Dream itself. Replica Bitter Dream is a little bit more expensive and is available a little bit later because it requires doing a heist. But at least on the market, I think these can only come from Grand Heists replicas. So, might be a little bit later in the first day of a league. But Volcanic Fissure, only 3 links everywhere. Using a cool tech with Snowblind Grace, makes Arctic Armor have no reservation. And Arctic Armor is insane. So it doesn't get Scalp Aura effect, because it's just a spell. But it gives 21% less physical and fire damage taken while stationary. And the buff effect will increase that to basically 32-ish%. So, less physical and fire damage taken, which is just crazy. Really good for your max hits for Fizz. Using Olroth's Charge, which is a really cool, underrated item for both attack builds and spellcasters. Gives Adrenaline for 3 seconds when your ward breaks, and gives slow restoration of ward, which is actually good. You want slower restoration of ward, because you want your ward to break after 3 seconds rather than 2 seconds. So, Adrenaline gives 100% increased damage, 21% increased attack, cast, and movement speed, and 10% Fizz reduction, which is insane buff. Really good buff. And then we're making ourselves hit ourselves by using Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. Normal Forbidden Rite hits for like 40% of your maximum life as chaos damage. Oh, you can drop that a ton with chaos res. But Soul Sacrifice hits for you for your energy shield's chaos damage, which we have a piddly amount. We only have 200 energy shield. For using Auto Exertion, Battle Mage's Cry, Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. So Auto Exertion will automatically trigger your War Cry on cooldown, and because the effect we're getting is not part of the buff of Battle Mage's Cry, it still works. So Battle Mage's Cry will War Cry, and then while those attacks are exerted, when you attack and hit an enemy with that exerted attack, it'll trigger a linked spell, with less damage and stuff with a cooldown. But it'll cast Forbidden Soul Sacrifice, which then will hit us, and then it'll activate our Adrenaline. I can't show you this here. Let me just go to Blood Aqueduct so I can show you what happens here. I'm also going to do a T60 map after this. But Auto Exertion is on. We're triggering Battle Mage's Cry and General's Cry. But General's Cry is basically just so we can keep up Rage, because this gives one Rage per 5 enemy power, up to 5, and then we make sure we have minimum power. So we gain Rage, but this is basically just make sure our Rage never goes down, because this node here, gives us inherent Rage loss starts 1 second later, which makes Rage start degenning after 3 seconds. And then our cooldown for General's Cry is 2.5 seconds right now, so your Rage will never go down. Let's go to Blood Rage. So we see Adrenaline here, then it goes away, and it comes back immediately. And we have Adrenaline again. I had a portal scrolls here. Oh, there we go. That's just how Adrenaline works. Really cool tech. Super underrated tech, and not really used very much. Then of course we have Cosmic Frost Breath combo. We're chilling enemies. We have Ice Bite here, which gives us a little bit of cold damage. Doesn't really matter how much, but we're chilling. And if you're not being able to chill enemies because your damage is too low, just take all damage to maces and scepters to inflict chill. So then all of your fire damage from Volcanic Fissure and Immolate and Innervate, the lightning damage from Innervate, that all inflicts chill. So then you do double damage to shield enemies, which is really cool. All your flat damage coming from Replica Bitter Dream. Then you just have a 3-link Volcanic Fissure, elemental damage attacks, and Melee Strike. You don't want to use returning prods because Volcanic Fissure already hits a ton of times with its projectiles, way more than Molten Strike. It hits like 60% of the projectiles. And then we get an additional projectile from Multi-Shot. So you're hitting with 60% of your projectiles anyway, so returning prods just not really needed. For Molten Strike, you're only hitting with about 30% of your projectiles with no slower proj. So everything else is just crappy life res gear, some stats, some places, these are like really bad items. I'm using Broken Crown just for the chaos res. It gives up to 61% chaos res. Also gives a fair bit of armor and energy shield, which is, I guess, is cool, but not really. But And get some attributes which are much needed because you don't need a ton of attributes on gear. Like I just have like some strength here and some int here, but it's useful. We're using a tincture. Also, we're using no jewels. This is like a level 89 tree. I'm not even like block capped right now. I'm only 5811. Put more levels into this, I would get these passives here, and I'll be able to actually block cap, and then go to versatile combatant. I think in my PoB that I've been putting together the last few days, yeah, I have 6846 block spell block, which is pretty good. And then 84% lucky suppress. That's pretty darn good. I actually don't have those nodes actually right here, so my suppress is only like 39%, which then makes it lucky to about 50-ish%. And once I get here, it gets lucky to 84. So getting block. Fortify is easy to get. Just pick up this mastery here. The reason I don't go fortify on my main links because it's not a lot of damage, and I only have 3 links to work with, or 2 support gems to work with because my main is my skill. Now this may be level 20, and this one's like 21, but I just would have had laying around my stash. Trust me, you're gonna do more than enough damage. Let's talk about here. You know, block. Don't have versatile combatant. Yeah, I guess not block cap, attack block. Volpack, really cool attack with attack projectiles, specifically melee projectile attacks. It says life leech from melee damage is instant and cannot recover life other than from leech. So the second line is kind of irrelevant because we have Slayer over leech, so our leech lasts 10 full seconds. But this first line you would think would disable that. Life leech from melee damage is instant rather than, you know, normal leech over time. But that's from melee damage. It doesn't say from melee attacks, it says from melee damage. So Volcanic Fissure, which deals both melee damage and projectile damage. The damage from your melee damage is going to be instant, so you can be popping to full all the freaking time, full life. And then your life leech over time, which then becomes overleech when you're capped out, lasts for 10 full seconds. So you can basically get life leech and instant leech at the same time. So overleech and instant leech. Really cool tech with projectile attacks, projectile melee attacks. So like Molten Strike, Volcanic Fissure, that stuff kind of stuff. Lightning Strike also works that way. We're taking Bloodsoaked Blade. You have a tincture here because we have a lot of life sustain through tons of overleech from Slayer and instant leech. This is like, I know the first one's T1, but even like T5 is still 35% increased effect. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for increased effect, increased mana burn rate, and then just whatever suffix, probably melee attack speed. You can also get like crit and stuff, but we're not crit build. We're going precise technique. Make sure your accuracy rating is higher in your life. Just pick up these nodes here, and run up Arrogance Precision. Of course, Lucky Suppress, Mana Mastery here. We're going Frenzy Charges into Endurance Charges, or equal Endurance Charges from your Frenzies. We're just using Enduring Cry. Smite just for solid bit of extra damage. It's not super necessary, but it gives a solid bit of extra damage, like 24,000. I need to hit something actually. That's gonna affect my, I'm gonna need adrenaline, it's gonna go up. So 38,000. I go to like 61,000 for half a second there. So yeah, Smite gives quite a bit of extra damage. Still not necessary for like mapping. I was just only used on like big bosses. So Tincture is huge. And then we have Nature's Concoction here, which is a pretty cheap anoint. It's 2 teals and indigo. Not ultra cheap, but not expensive at all. And this gives you flask sustain to your adjacent flask to your tincture. No more than once a second. So it is really good sustain for these. I just have these on using charges reach full and then the tincture itself. So these get super good charges. Let's just pop into T16. That's white. I forgot to freaking allocate. Whatever. T16s are still difficult for shitty characters. So let's get Blood Rage. Some endurance charges. That could be our tincture. Not the fastest mapper, but it's relatively tanky for as cheap as it is. Like I think total this is maybe 20 C in gear. Literally. Ulroth is the most expensive part of the build. It's usually like 5 to 10 C day one. Sometimes upwards of 15 C. But it goes down really fast. Get our tincture back. Also, I think my anger is only level like 11, so I'm still missing a solid bit of damage here. Tincture's insane. I love tinctures, they're so overpowered. I deactivate him, degenning too much. I probably should take off urgent orders off my enduring cry, because it's not necessary, because I have Warcry speed on the tree. Then I can get steel skin with cast damage taken. I already have steel skin, but I can put cast damage taken on it in the place of my urgent orders for it. Oh, I have the regular. I was leveling a new character for a test, and then I had regular item filter. Oh my god. That wasn't supposed to happen. Hey, it's realistic, man. That was a friggin' double ghosted red beast. Like, nothing's touching me, nothing's touching me. Nothing's doing damage except my own tincture was degenning me, and then just that just destroys me. Ah, modern PoE. You gotta love it, man. You're cruising, you're cruising, you're cruising, then just bang, you're dead. Because you have some hyper ghosted. What is degenning me? I didn't even have my tincture on. What the hell is degenning me? Blood Rage? No. Wouldn't have done that much. But I was doing some eater runs earlier. Like normal eater, not story eater, because I don't have a new account, but the normal eater was no problem for this build. Like, not a problem at all. I don't even know my tincture activated. Doing crappy damage right now. There we go. Tincture. What is this? Oh, it's a Elder Guardian map. So, I don't need leveling trees for this character. Pretty much probably just level as Volcanic Fissure. Just keep your physical weapon up. I might make some leveling trees and put them into PoE, but for now I'm just kind of slapping this together. I worked on the PoE for a while, just kind of improving the character. Probably should open this up so you can show you the PoE. Doing like 4.44 million DPS. Relatively tanky, solid max hits here. Like 70k hit pool, 15k fizz, and like 30k elemental, but 40k fire because of Arctic armor. It's not bad. I rarely die other than that weird beast that just annihilated me, but it should be good for just normal pinnacle bossing and T16 mapping. Once again, this is literally like 20C in gear. Maybe 30C if some get a bit more expensive early league. But other than that, it's a really, really freaking solid character. Really solidly cheap and outperforming its cost, definitely. So that's that. Might make an update on it if I ever improve this or league start in the restart of the league, the reset. I might make this character, might make a slightly different one, but I'm probably gonna league start and make a Slayer if I do that, if I actually play that. So that's that, and peace out, you guys.